Tonight, you enter quietly as though the world has placed a hidden doorway before you. In the stillness of the bamboo grove beneath pale moonlight and the hush of dew-covered leaves, something ordinary begins to glow. A simple stalk of bamboo holds a secret light within it, and in the same gentle way, there is something luminous already waiting inside you. You do not need to force it open. You do not need to chase it. You only need to become still enough to remember. This meditation is for that remembering, for the part of you that has been buried under effort noise and trying too hard, for the hidden self that does not need to be created, only recognized. And as you rest here with me tonight, let this be your quiet promise. What is meant for you can rise from the ordinary, softly, naturally, like light appearing where no one expected it. And if you wish to return here with me each night, you may choose to subscribe now and leave these words in the comments. I am ready to rewire. Let that intention settle gently into the field of your mind. For now, nothing is required of you except openness. The grove is still. The night is listening. And somewhere within the ordinary silence of your own being, a hidden light is ready to be seen. Let the night grow softer around you now. Let everything become a little quieter, a little farther away. Imagine moonlight falling over the surface of a still pond, silver and smooth, touching the water so gently that nothing needs to move unless it wants to. And as you rest here, let your attention become like that moonlight, not forcing, not searching, only settling. You do not need to fix the mind. You do not need to control the body. You are simply allowing all the scattered parts of you to gather in one calm place. As ripples on water slowly widen, then return to stillness, your awareness begins to come back to itself. What was racing can soften. What was divided can become whole again. Feel the quiet center of your chest, not with effort, only with notice. As though behind the breastbone, there is a small, warm light, steady and kind. With every easy breath, that light seems to glow a little more clearly. It does not rush. It does not demand. It simply shines. And the more you rest your attention there, the more your inner world begins to harmonize around it. The heart knows how to welcome stillness. The mind knows how to follow peace when peace is made simple. So let them meet here now in this soft inner light. Let your thoughts come closer, not as noise, but as distant leaves settling after a breeze. Let your feelings come closer, not as burdens, but as waves returning to a quiet shore. Nothing inside you is wrong. Nothing inside you is too much. Everything is being invited into gentleness. Around you, the bamboo grove sways without urgency. Each slender stem moves with the others, never struggling, never asking how to be the wind. It simply yields, and because it yields, it remains graceful. Let your mind learn from that. You do not need to become empty. You only need to become unresisting. You only need to sway a little less against the moment. If a thought appears, let it pass like mist crossing a silver path. If another follows, let that one pass too. You are not here to chase thoughts away. You are here to stop giving them the weight of importance. And without that weight, they begin to lose their drama. They thin. They fade. They drift to the edges of awareness, where the night gently receives them. Now the pond is smoother. The moon is clearer in it. Your attention is no longer scattered in 10 directions. It is gathering softly, beautifully into one circle of calm, one point of rest, one quiet knowing that you are safe here, safe to loosen, safe to soften, safe to be still without losing yourself. You are not a restless mind tonight. You are a quiet lantern. You are a warm light held in calm hands. You are the one who can rest in the center of your own being and let peace spread outward from there, from the chest to the throat, from the throat to the face, from the face to the shoulders. A peaceful signal moving through you without strain, and as this softness continues, you may notice how natural it feels not to resist, how natural it feels to let the night carry part of the weight for you. The body is not a problem to solve. The mind is not an enemy to defeat. You are a field becoming quiet under moonlight, and everything within you is remembering how to be received. Stay here for a moment longer in this calm and unified space. The pond is still. The grove is breathing in silence. The light in your chest remains steady, warm, and sure. And without effort, without force, you are becoming more open, more settled, more ready to go deeper. Now, let the softness move gently through the body, as though moonlight is traveling from crown to feet, touching each place that has carried too much for too long. Begin at the forehead and feel it unwrinkle like a ribbon being loosened after a long ceremony. The space between the brows opens. The temples grow quiet. The mind no longer needs to hold itself so tightly. Let the eyes rest now like petals closing in a night garden. They do not need to watch. They do not need to search. The tiny muscles around them let go, and a deeper comfort begins to spread across the face. The cheeks soften. The mouth grows still. The jaw loosens like a knot of golden thread, slowly untied by gentle hands. Nothing to clench, nothing to prove. Feel that ease flow into the neck, warm and smooth like water passing over polished stone. The throat opens and relaxes. No pressure, no strain. The front of the neck softens, the back of the neck releases, and the head is supported completely. You are held. You do not need to hold yourself up with effort anymore. Now, let the shoulders descend as though a traveler has finally set down two heavy bundles at the end of a long road. The weight falls away. The muscles unwind. The space across the collarbones widens. A quiet relief moves through the upper back, and your whole body understands that it is safe to rest. That release continues down through the arms. The upper arms grow heavy and warm. The elbows loosen. The forearms soften. The wrists let go. Even the hands begin to unfurl like bamboo leaves uncurling after rain. The palms rest easily. The fingers release their last small efforts. Nothing is being grasped now. Nothing is being held too tightly. Bring your awareness to the chest. Let it become like the surface of a pond beneath moonlight, smooth and open, with every movement becoming gentler than before. The heart space is calm. The ribs are soft. The center of you is no longer bracing. It is receiving. It is allowing. It is remembering peace. Now the belly warms like a lantern glowing softly in a quiet room. Any tightness there begins to melt. Any guardedness begins to ease. The stomach softens. The abdomen relaxes. The deeper muscles unclench. And with that release comes a feeling of being safe enough, not to prepare for anything safe enough, not to defend against anything safe enough, to simply be here. Let that comfort spread into the hips and pelvis, deep and steady, like rooted cedar stillness. These strong places in you no longer need to carry hidden strain. They can sink, they can widen, they can rest into the surface beneath you, supported fully with no urgency left in them at all. Now both thighs soften heavy and quiet. The knees loosen, the calves release. The lower legs grow still like riverbanks resting at dusk after the water has passed. There is no effort here now, only settling, only surrender into support. And finally, bring this quiet all the way into the feet. The ankles loosen, the soles soften. The toes release one by one, as though the earth itself is receiving your quiet footsteps and asking nothing more from you tonight. From head to toe, the whole body has become a moonlit landscape, calm, open, and undisturbed. If you notice heaviness, let it be pleasant. If you notice lightness, let it be pleasant too. If the body feels far away, that is all right. If it feels warm, floating still, or deeply settled, that is all right. Everything you are feeling can be welcomed. Everything is part of the soft descent. Now the forehead is calm, the eyes are resting, the jaw is loose, the throat is open, the shoulders are lowered, the arms are heavy, the chest is smooth, the belly is warm, the hips are still, the legs are quiet, the feet are fully at rest. And as the body continues to let go, you may realize that peace is no longer something you are trying to reach. It is already here, moving through you, filling you, becoming you. The night has entered every tired place with gentleness, and your body has answered by trusting it. There is nothing more you need to force tonight, nothing more you need to chase. The deeper truths of your life do not open through strain, and the most beautiful things within you do not arrive when they are cornered. They appear when you soften enough to receive them. In the old story, those who reached with too much hunger could not hold what was sacred. Those who tried to possess the light only proved they did not understand it. And so, now let that wisdom settle into you. Gently, what is real cannot be forced. What belongs to your true nature does not need pressure to come alive. It asks for space. It asks for trust. It asks for your open hands. So let the hands of the mind unclench. Let the grip around outcomes loosen. Let the part of you that has been monitoring, comparing, measuring, performing, finally grow quiet. You do not need to watch yourself so closely tonight. You do not need to improve this moment while you are in it. You do not need to earn rest by doing it perfectly. Just surrender a little more. Imagine now that before you there is a doorway in the bamboo grove, simple and still lit by pale moonlight. You do not have to push it open with effort. You only step toward it, and it welcomes you. Beyond it is a calm, limitless space where nothing is demanded of you. No urgency follows you there. No old pressure can survive there. It is wide, silent, and kind. Step through. Feel what happens when you no longer have to manage everything. Feel what happens when control begins to fall away, not as loss, but as relief. The shoulders of the mind lower. The inner noise becomes less convincing. The future no longer feels like something to wrestle into place. You are allowed to stop gripping. You are allowed to be carried by something gentler than effort. And if the mind wanders, let it wander for a moment. That too is natural. Thoughts may drift in. Memories may flicker. Small worries may try to speak again. Let them pass like clouds parting from the moon. You do not need to argue with them. You do not need to correct them. You only return softly to this feeling of space, this feeling of openness, this feeling of being held by something larger than striving. Again and again, you come back without judgment, not because you failed, because returning is the way. Let urgency leave your body like a tide withdrawing from the shore. Let performance leave like a robe slipping from the shoulders. Let self-surveillance dissolve into the night air. You are not here to prove that you can surrender well. You are here to discover how natural surrender becomes when you stop resisting peace. There is a great calm in not chasing. There is a hidden power in loosening your grip. And somewhere beneath all the effort you once thought was necessary, there is already a version of you who knows this. A version of you who is unafraid to trust the unseen, unafraid to rest. Before certainty appears, unafraid to let life unfold without constant pressure. Tonight you become available to that version of yourself. You do less. You receive more. You release the grasping mind, and something quieter begins to rise. Stay here in that truth for a moment. Open hands, soft breath, spacious heart. The door is behind you now, and the limitless calm ahead of you is real. You do not need to control the next step. You only need to remain open enough for it to find you. Now you stand at a quieter threshold, the moon gate between the thinking mind and the deeper symbolic night within you. This is the place where the edges begin to soften. Thoughts are no longer sharp and fixed. They blur gently like ink touched by water, like silver mist passing across a dark field. You are not losing yourself here. You are moving into a softer kind of knowing. The body is safe. The mind is open. And the part of you that must analyze, explain, and control can begin to rest. Another intelligence is waking now, calm and imaginal, receptive and deep. This is where change becomes easier, because it no longer needs to be argued into existence. It can be felt. It can be received. So let yourself drift a little farther into this pearl-soft space. Let waken effort loosen at the edges. Let the story, the symbols, the feeling of the night become a bridge beneath you. We cross it gently. We cross it safely. And with every quiet moment, you become more available to what the deeper mind is ready to accept. You are open. You are safe. You are ready for what comes next. The grove is quiet now. The body is willing. The mind is no longer arguing with the moment. Everything in you has softened enough to listen, and the night has made room for something new to appear without force. You have not arrived here by struggle. You have arrived by release, by gentleness, by allowing the noise to settle and the deeper self to come closer. What was tense has loosened. What was scattered has gathered. What was guarded has begun to open. And now in this moonlit stillness, you are ready to move inward in a new way. Not by reaching, but by receiving. Not by effort, but by quiet recognition. Just as light once appeared from within the bamboo, something within you is preparing to reveal itself, naturally, silently, at the perfect depth. So remain here for one more breath in this calm and receptive state. Let the body stay heavy. Let the mind stay soft. Let the inner world remain open like a clear path beneath silver light. And from this stillness, the deeper story can begin. You are standing inside a quiet morning that already feels meant for you. Soft pearl light moves through the paper screens, and the bamboo beyond them glows with thin golden threads as if the world has been holding a secret just to place it gently in your hands. The room is warm with polished wood, clean air, and stillness. You do not need to prove anything here. You do not need to explain your worth. You simply are, and that is enough to be seen. You hear footsteps approaching, calm and certain. The door opens, and the right people enter your life with recognition already in their eyes. There is no hesitation in them, no overlooking, no passing you by. They see you clearly, as though your value has always been present, waiting only for the right moment to be honored. Their voices are warm. Their tone is respectful. You feel it at once in your chest, that deep, quiet relief of being welcomed without performance. You look down and notice the way you carry yourself now. Your posture is natural, relaxed, steady. Your hands are soft at your sides. Your breathing is easy. You are no longer shaped by urgency. You are no longer trying to earn a place that is already yours. You feel chosen, not because you begged for attention, but because what you hold within you is unmistakable. Someone speaks your name, and the sound lands differently now. It is spoken with trust, with appreciation, with the kind of certainty that tells you you belong here. You are being invited into a place, a role, a life that fits you, not by force, not by struggle, by alignment, by the quiet law that what is true will always find its way into the light. You can feel the texture of your clothing against your skin, the warmth of the room, the faint, fresh scent of bamboo and morning air. Everything around you mirrors the same message: you are no longer hidden. Your gifts are visible. Your presence matters. The right people do not miss you. The right doors do not resist you. What is meant for you recognizes you with ease, and as you stand there, receive trusted, well-placed, you let this truth settle deeper inside you. Prosperity comes to you now as a natural response to who you are. Support arrives, opportunity opens, respect meets you. You are seen as precious, and you no longer question whether you deserve to be. You simply allow yourself to remain in this moment, in this recognition, in this quiet, undeniable knowing that your light has been found. Evening arrives softly now, and your life feels different in the quiet hours. There is no inner scrambling, no restless search for proof that you are enough. Your room holds a calm that matches you. Folded linen rests neatly nearby. A cup of tea releases thin, fragrant steam into the air. Sandalwood lingers faintly in the corners. Moonlight stretches along the polished wood floor and slips through the corridor like a silver ribbon, gentle and assured. You move through this space as someone who trusts life. Your shoulders are loose. Your face is soft. Your voice when you speak is low, clear and unhurried. You do not rush to fill silence. You do not chase anyone's approval through effort or explanation. There is a coherence in you, now a quiet completeness that others can feel before you say a single word. You notice how even simple choices reflect this new self. What you keep around you is thoughtful. What you accept feels aligned. What you decline carries no guilt. You no longer reach for what drains you just to feel chosen. You choose what honors your peace, and peace answers by staying. The whole atmosphere of your life begins to respond to this steadiness. The people around you respond differently too. Conversations become warmer, cleaner, more sincere. Respect meets you more easily. Kindness finds you without strain. The right invitations arrive. The right opportunities appear almost naturally, as if your inner world has quietly taught the outer world how to meet you. You are not pushing. You are not persuading. You are simply emitting the unmistakable signal of self-trust, and in this fuller life you begin to sense something else opening. Small synchronicities, timely words, doors that seem to part at the perfect moment, encounters that feel guided. You do not force meaning, yet you remain open to it. You let life surprise you with its intelligence. You let alignment reveal itself in ordinary places, in passing moments, in the ease that now follows you, like moonlight along a familiar path. This is what life feels like after the inner shift. Lived in, peaceful, real. Your environment reflects your worth. Your relationships reflect your steadiness. Your choices reflect your trust. And as you stand in this evening calm, surrounded by beauty, order, and quiet welcome, you know that you are no longer living from shortage. You are living from wholeness, and everything around you is beginning to mirror it. Now a deeper feeling begins to rise within you, gentle and unmistakable. It is the relief of no longer needing to convince the world that you matter. That long strain begins to loosen. That old pressure begins to fade, and in its place, something warmer appears, something truer. You feel the quiet joy of being exactly where you belong. There is love here, but not the kind that exhausts or chases or doubts itself. This love is calm. It includes you. It lets you rest inside your own heart without fear. You feel a tenderness toward yourself that asks for nothing except honesty, a softness, a dignity, a reverence for the life within you that has always been worthy of care. You let this feeling spread through the inner scenes you have already entered, the welcome you received, the peace of your surroundings, the steadiness in your voice, the trust in your choices. All of it now becomes touched with emotion, and the emotion makes it real, not forced, not dramatic, just deeply true. You can feel how safe it is to stop resisting your own light. There is relief in being seen, relief in being placed well, relief in no longer running after what cannot honor you. And as that relief settles, joy begins to bloom more fully. Quiet joy, sacred joy, the kind that does not need to be displayed to be powerful. It moves through you like lantern glow across still water, soft and golden, steady and alive. You feel gratitude for your own becoming. You feel love for the self that kept going. You feel compassion for the parts of you that once believed they had to struggle for every crumb of belonging. And now a new truth enters with ease. You are allowed to receive. You are allowed to be cherished. You are allowed to exist in peace and still be deeply valuable. Let these feelings stay with the images. Let love stay with the welcome. Let relief stay with the recognition. Let joy stay with the life that now fits you. This emotional signature becomes part of who you are. And the more you feel it, the more natural this identity becomes. Not a performance, not a wish, a truth your inner world is finally ready to hold. I am grateful for what has already begun within me. I am grateful for the quiet changes that do not shout yet alter everything. I am grateful for the calmer thoughts, the softer reactions, the clearer desires. I am grateful for the way my inner world is becoming a place of peace instead of pressure. You begin to notice how much is already here. Not everything has arrived in visible form, and still something precious has already opened. There is more space inside you now, more steadiness, more honesty, more willingness to let life meet you without fear. You do not dismiss these changes because they are subtle. You honor them. You let them count. You feel gratitude for the small evidence, for the moments when you pause instead of panic, for the moments when your heart stays soft instead of closing, for the moments when your own truth becomes easier to hear. These are not little things. These are signs. These are the first treasures appearing in the bamboo, the first hints of gold hidden within what once looked ordinary, and you feel grateful not only for what you can name, but for what is forming beyond your sight, for the unseen arrangements, for the quiet timing, for the paths aligning in ways you do not need to control. Something is moving for you even now. Something is being prepared with care. You let yourself feel thankful before the full proof appears, and that gratitude changes the way reality lives inside you. You are grateful for the room around you, for the light at the paper window, for the warmth of a cup held gently in both hands. You are grateful for the ordinary places where grace has begun to find you. You are grateful that life does not always announce its gifts loudly. Sometimes it places them softly in your path and waits for you to notice. So you notice, you receive, you soften, you let gratitude become natural, not forced, not exaggerated, just sincere. Thankful for what is already healing, thankful for what is already shifting, thankful for what is already yours in seed form. And in that gratitude, your heart learns a new rhythm. Not longing alone, but receiving. Not striving alone, but trusting. Not emptiness, but quiet abundance. I am chosen without begging. I am welcomed without proving. I am received without exhausting myself. I am calm enough to receive what is mine. I am open to what honors me. I am no longer hidden from myself. I see my own value clearly, and I let that value be visible. I am worthy in quiet ways. I am worthy without noise. I am worthy without performance. I belong where my light is honored. I belong where my presence is respected. I belong where my heart can rest. I am safe to be seen. I am safe to be valued. I am safe to be treasured. I am not chasing what is already aligned with me. I am not forcing what is meant to arrive naturally. I trust the timing of what is mine. I trust the path of what is mine. I trust that what recognizes my light will find me with ease. I am steady enough for blessings. I am soft enough for love. I am clear enough for alignment. I am no longer asking for permission to exist in my truth. I am no longer shrinking to fit places that cannot honor me. I am becoming more myself, and that is enough. I am whole. I am placed well. I am quietly radiant. I am like a polished pearl, complete in my own nature. I am like still water reflecting my true shape without distortion. I am the one who receives with grace. I am the one who trusts with peace. I am the one who knows that my worth does not need to be argued. I am chosen without begging. I am calm enough to receive. I am no longer hidden from myself. I am worthy in quiet ways. I belong where my light is honored. I trust the timing of what is mine. And if this identity feels true within you, you may seal it with a simple declaration. You may whisper it or place it in the comments, "I already am." And join this circle by subscribing so we continue strengthening this truth together. I am already becoming what I have claimed. I am already aligned with what is true. I am already meeting life as the version of me who no longer doubts their place. I am already enough. I already am. I move with quiet certainty. I do not rush to be believed. I do not perform for approval. I choose what honors me, and I release what asks me to betray myself. I notice what aligns, and I let myself follow it. I notice what drains me, and I let myself turn away in peace. I speak from calm, not fear. I answer from truth, not pressure. I let my words be clean, simple, and sincere. I do not chase attention with noise. I let my presence carry the message. I let my actions match my inner truth. I let my choices confirm what I now know about myself. I walk steadily through my life. My steps are grounded. My hands are still. My eyes are clear. I trust myself to pause before I agree. I trust myself to choose what is right for me. I trust myself to remain where there is respect and to leave where there is only performance. I no longer confuse anxiety with devotion. I no longer confuse struggle with worth. I welcome what meets me with honesty. I make space for what feels clean and mutual. I release habits built around proving. I release patterns built around fear. I live in a way that signals self-respect. I live in a way that signals readiness. I live in a way that tells the world I know my value now. My energy is coherent. My behavior is aligned. My inner world and outer life no longer speak in contradiction. I act like the one who is already chosen. I decide like the one who is already worthy. I respond like the one who already belongs. And with every calm decision, every honest word, every faithful action, I strengthen the identity that is becoming natural to me. Let this settle softly now. No force, no urgency, only the quiet feeling of something true being sealed within you. The identity you have touched here does not need struggle to remain. It strengthens through recognition, through repetition, through the simple willingness to return to it again and again. You may let one gentle phrase stay with you now like a folded letter kept close to the heart. I already am. Not becoming from emptiness, but remembering from truth. I already am. Not chasing worth, but resting in it. I already am. Let the words fall inward with softness, with calm, with certainty. There is something ceremonial in this moment, something quiet and complete, as if a seal has been placed upon what your inner world now knows, as if a small moon emblem has been pressed into warm wax marking this identity as chosen, claimed, and real. You do not need to announce it loudly. You only need to let it live within you. And whenever you return to this practice, you return to yourself. Each repetition deepens the pathway. Each remembrance makes it more natural to dwell in this version of you, the version that no longer begs to be seen, the version that receives, the version that belongs. So rest in that now gently. Let the phrase remain. Let the feeling remain. Let the new self remain. I already am. Now let the image soften. You do not need to keep holding every detail in place. You do not need to preserve the scene with effort. You do not need to repeat it perfectly to receive its gift. The picture may fade, and still the feeling remains. The form may dissolve, and still the truth stays with you. Let the outlines grow gentler now. Let the faces blur. Let the setting become distant, like a lantern seen through evening mist. Let the edges loosen. Let the story drift a little farther away. You are not losing anything. You are keeping the only part that matters, because the scene was never the power. The power was the feeling it awakened in you, the quiet worth, the peace, the belonging, the calm certainty, the soft knowing that something good is already true. So let the image float now, like a balloon released into a dark and open sky. You do not chase it. You do not call it back. You simply watch it rise smaller and smaller until it becomes a point of light, and then even that light melts into the greater night, and still what it gave you remains. You do not need to hold the moon to be lit by it. You do not need to keep touching the water to know you have been cooled by it. You do not need to keep retelling the story to carry its meaning in your body. So release the details, keep the resonance, release the sequence, keep the feeling, release the picture, keep the frequency of the wish fulfilled. Let it be as natural as a robe slipping from your shoulders at the end of a long day. No force, no resistance, just a gentle laying down of what is no longer needed. The image has done its work. It opened the door. It introduced you to the state. And now the state can remain even as the image recedes, like moonlight behind a cloud, unseen for a moment yet still covering the world, like the reflection on water after the ripple has passed, like the warmth in your hands after the cup has been set down. You are allowed to stop trying. You are allowed to rest inside the feeling without managing it. You are allowed to trust that what reached your heart has already entered deeper than thought. And so with each breath, the scene becomes lighter, less fixed, less necessary, less detailed, and you become more settled in what it left behind. A soft sense of enough. A soft sense of being chosen by life. A soft sense of inner arrival. Let the clouds take the pictures now. Let them drift across the inner sky. Let them move without your instruction. You do not need to organize them. You do not need to correct them. You do not need to make them stay. Some will fade quickly. Some will linger for a moment. Some will dissolve into pure color, pure light, pure feeling. Let it all happen. You are not here to perform the perfect imagination. You are here to receive the perfect calm, and the calm is here. The calm remains when the image changes. The calm remains when memory softens. The calm remains when language disappears. You can feel it now underneath the pictures, underneath the effort, underneath the last small habit of trying to make something happen. There is a deeper place in you that already knows. It knows how to keep the essence. It knows how to keep the blessing. It knows how to keep the signal of fulfillment, even when the symbols are gone. So breathe in gently and feel that essence gather, not as an image, as a tone, not as a scene, as a truth, not as something you must watch, as something you can be. And maybe now it feels like quiet certainty in your chest. Maybe it feels like warmth in your stomach. Maybe it feels like spaciousness across your forehead. Maybe it feels like your whole body saying yes without words. Whatever form it takes, let it be simple. Worth, peace, belonging, trust. Let these remain while everything else can drift. Even the beautiful details can drift. Even the precious symbols can drift. Even the story itself can drift. Because what is real does not panic when the picture fades. What is real becomes gentler, deeper, more natural. You are moving from effort into embodiment, from seeing it to feeling it, from feeling it to knowing it, from knowing it to resting in it. So one last time, thank the image softly. Thank it for carrying you here. Thank it for showing you the emotional doorway. Thank it for reminding you of what is already available within. And then let it go. Let it go the way the evening lets go of color. Let it go the way a lantern dims just before sleep. Let it go the way a ripple returns to stillness. No loss, only distillation. No emptiness, only essence. No ending, only settling. And as the image disappears into the wide and merciful dark, the feeling remains with you. like a quiet light under closed eyes, steady, warm, wordless, still here, still yours, still becoming the atmosphere of your whole inner world. And now, without effort, you begin to feel the deeper harmony beneath that quiet state. A clear signal is not forceful. It does not strain. It does not shout into the dark. A clear signal is calm because it is undivided. It moves in one direction. It carries no argument within itself. It simply is what it is. And this is what is happening in you now. Your thoughts no longer pull one way, while your heart pulls another. Your feelings no longer whisper one truth, while your old habits repeat another. More and more, your inner world is learning agreement, a gentle agreement, a natural agreement, a peaceful joining of what you think, what you feel, and what you are becoming. Like lanterns placed one after another in a long corridor, all facing the same way, your inner life begins to align. No confusion, no scattering, no mixed command sent out into the night. Only one quiet orientation of being. Yes, this is for me. Yes, I am available for this. Yes, I am no longer divided against my own good. Feel how restful that is. You do not need to create power. You only need to stop leaking it through contradiction. And now contradiction softens. The old voice that doubted begins to lose its urgency. The old posture of waiting begins to relax. The old identity that questioned your worth begins to thin like fog before dawn. And in its place, a steadier rhythm appears. You think from peace. You feel from peace. You receive from peace. Like a bamboo forest moving in one wind, every part of you can sway together now. Not perfectly, not mechanically, but coherently, naturally, gracefully. The whole self responding as one body to one invisible movement. This is the meaning of alignment, not that you become rigid, not that you control every thought, but that your deeper being is no longer sending mixed meanings into your days. You are no longer asking and denying, calling and resisting, hoping and bracing. You are becoming consistent in the most beautiful way. And that consistency has a softness to it. It is like strings tuned to the same note resting in resonance. It is like reeds by the water bending in the same breeze. It is like moonlight laying one silver path across the surface of a quiet lake. Nothing in that lake is striving. Nothing is trying to prove the reflection. The water simply becomes still enough to receive it. So let yourself become still enough now, still enough to hold one truth without pressure, still enough to let your inner signal become clean, still enough to stop negotiating with what your heart already knows. What belongs with your deepest state begins to recognize you. What matches peace moves toward peace. What matches worth meets worth. What matches quiet certainty finds quiet certainty. Not because you force life to answer, but because you are no longer arguing with the answer when it comes. This is the softer law of coherence. When the inner world learns one song, the outer world is easier to meet. When the inner self stops sending fragments, experience begins to gather around a clearer center. When your thoughts, feelings, and self-concept face the same direction, your life can begin to reflect that hidden order. So feel that order now, in your breath, in your chest, in the space behind your closed eyes, everything becoming simpler, everything becoming less divided, everything becoming more true. You are not chasing the desired life. You are becoming inwardly available to it, and there is such peace in that. No pushing, no persuading, no proving. Only coherence, only the quiet dignity of an inner world that has stopped speaking in opposites. So let this settle into you now as a felt sense. I am in agreement with my good. I am in agreement with peace. I am in agreement with becoming. And as this agreement deepens, you may notice how natural it feels to trust that what is meant for you is already finding its way by the path of resonance, by the path of likeness, by the path of gentle inner truth. You do not need to make the current move faster. You only remain clear within it, like the moon path across water. The way is already there when the surface grows still enough to show it. And you are growing still now, steady now, whole now, a little less scattered with each breath, a little more unified with each exhale, a little more at home in the signal you now carry so softly, so clearly, so completely. And now the night becomes even more inward. As the outer world grows dimmer, the inner world grows softly luminous. In darkness, surface detail relaxes. The eyes no longer need to reach outward, and something quieter begins to open within you. Something ancient, something gentle, something that does not argue to be known. We may call it the pineal window, not as a claim to force mystery into fact, but as a tender name for inward seeing. A poetic window, a silent place behind the noise of the day. A place where intuition does not need bright light because it is made of a different kind of vision. You may feel it now as a subtle clearing behind the brow, as if a small chamber of stillness has opened in the indigo dark. No effort there, no strain, only a soft receptivity, only the sense that your inner sky is wide and clear enough to receive quiet insight. Night has always carried this feeling. When the world hushes, symbols become brighter. When the room darkens, inner light becomes easier to notice. When the day releases its grip, the deeper self can speak in image, in feeling, in knowing. So let this inner window remain open gently, naturally, not to search, not to solve, only to allow. Allow inspiration to come when it wishes. Allow clarity to arrive in its own form. Allow wisdom to move like silver light through closed eyes. You do not need to understand everything tonight. You only need to rest near the mystery. And perhaps that is enough now, this quiet sense that something within you is open, blessed by darkness, peaceful in the unseen, listening without effort, glowing without display, a small inward star, a calm and secret light, a silent window turned toward truth. Now let these final truths become very simple, simple enough to remain with you as thought grows softer, simple enough to rest inside your body without effort, simple enough to follow you across the threshold of sleep. You do not need many words now, only the ones that feel like home. What is mine does not need force. Let that settle. What is mine does not need force. It does not need fear. It does not need overreaching. It does not need strain to become real. It can arrive in peace. It can unfold without pressure. It can meet you in the same calm from which you now rest. I am safe to receive. Let that move through you gently. I am safe to receive love, safe to receive peace, safe to receive the next chapter, safe to receive what no longer needs to be chased. There is nothing dangerous in being blessed. There is nothing unsafe in being supported. There is nothing wrong with opening the hands and letting life place something good within them. I am already becoming what I once asked for, not someday, not in some distant version of life. Even now, quietly, invisibly, truly, you are becoming. I am already becoming what I once asked for. The old pattern is not the only pattern. The old self is not the only self. Something new is learning your name from within. My inner world is learning a new pattern, a softer pattern, a steadier pattern, a pattern of trust instead of bracing, a pattern of worth instead of doubt, a pattern of allowing instead of pursuit. My inner world is learning a new pattern, and it is allowed to learn slowly. It is allowed to learn gently. It is allowed to repeat peace until peace becomes familiar. I rest in quiet worth. Stay there for a moment. I rest in quiet worth, not loud worth, not proven worth, not earned through exhaustion. Quiet worth, the kind that does not beg to be seen, the kind that does not tremble when no one applauds, the kind that lives like a pearl in the palm, complete, even in silence. I release pursuit and remain available to grace. Again, I release pursuit and remain available to grace. You do not need to hunt what can find you. You do not need to force open what is already turning toward you. You do not need to outrun life to be chosen by it. You may simply remain available, available to goodness, available to love, available to timing wiser than urgency, available to the unseen tenderness that arranges what effort cannot. Let these lines come like waves now. What is mine does not need force. I am safe to receive. I am already becoming what I once asked for. My inner world is learning a new pattern. I rest in quiet worth. I release pursuit and remain available to grace. Each line a lantern. Each line a small room of safety. Each line less complicated than the one before. And if one of them wants to stay longer, let it stay. If one of them feels warmer in your body, let it glow there. If one of them feels like the truest note tonight, let that be enough. You do not need to hold them all. Just rest near them, like a mountain at dusk, still and certain. Like a single lantern in the final room, glowing without effort. Like distant smoke rising beyond the trees, asking nothing, becoming sky. And perhaps now, somewhere in the quiet distance of your inner landscape, there is the silhouette of a mountain beneath the night, steady, ancient, unhurried, a shape that needs no defense, a presence that does not force its meaning. It simply stands, and by standing teaches peace. Let your worth be like that. Let your becoming be like that. Let your receiving be like that. Still, natural, unafraid. And now, one more time, with even less effort, as if the words are speaking themselves inside you. What is mine does not need force. I am safe to receive. I am already becoming what I once asked for. My inner world is learning a new pattern. I rest in quiet worth. I release pursuit and remain available to grace. And now let the phrases spread out. More space between them. More softness around them. Less needing to remember. Less needing to repeat. Only the feeling beneath them remaining. Safety, worth, trust, receiving, grace. A final glow. A final settling. A final inward yes. And you can rest there now, where the words are fewer and the truth is deeper. And now there is even less to do. The grove grows quieter. The air grows softer. The story no longer asks to be followed from beginning to end. It does not need to be completed tonight. It does not need to be understood in full. It can simply become atmosphere now. A faint fragrance in the dark. A hush between breaths. A softness around you. Let everything unfinished loosen. Let every question unclench. Let every small mental reaching grow tired in the gentlest way and lay itself down. You are allowed to drift before the sentence ends. You are allowed to rest before every thought resolves. You are allowed to sink before meaning is complete. Because sleep does not ask for completion. Sleep asks for surrender. And surrender can be soft, So feel the quiet floor beneath you. Feel the warmth gathering under the blankets. Feel the weight of your body being received fully kindly, without condition. There is nothing to hold up now, nothing to carry, nothing to watch over. The night is holding what you no longer need to hold. The bamboo shadows are still. The distant air is still. Even the inner waters are becoming still. And somewhere in that stillness, the princess returns to the moon, not as loss, as a gentle homecoming. Her light rises, but it does not leave you empty. It remains here diffused through the night, resting on the leaves, resting on the floor, resting on your closed eyes. Like the faintest silver blessing, she goes, and still the light remains. The image fades, and still the peace remains. The story drifts, and still the feeling remains. So you do not need to follow her. You do not need to keep looking upward. You do not need to hold the final scene in place. Let the moon carriage dissolve into haze. Let the robes become mist. Let the edges of the world soften until nothing is sharp enough to ask anything of you. Just this breath, then this one, then this softer one. The grove grows quieter, and you grow quieter with it. Thoughts become slower now, further apart, less interested in being finished. A phrase begins and then softens. A memory rises and then thins. A feeling touches you and then spreads into warmth without needing a name. This is enough. Nothing more is required. Everything unfinished can soften until morning. Everything unanswered can rest until morning. Everything unsolved can be held by a wiser silence until morning. You do not have to stay awake for your life to continue arranging itself. You do not have to supervise the healing. You do not have to manage the becoming. You may sleep. You may sleep while the deeper pattern settles. You may sleep while the heart learns peace. You may sleep while tomorrow quietly prepares its own gentle arrival. Feel how kind that is. To be allowed to disappear a little, to be allowed to loosen your shape, to be allowed to become heavier, then lighter, than nowhere in particular at all. Your hands resting, your jaw softening, your eyes sinking deeper behind their closed calm, your breath becoming a tide too quiet to count. In, out, and even those words begin to fade. Only the motion remains, only the rocking, only the almost imperceptible rise and fall that tells the body it is safe, now safe enough to drift, safe enough to descend, safe enough to go where no effort can follow. The room grows wider in the dark, or perhaps you are the one becoming wider, wider than thought, wider than memory, wider than the need to name this moment. There is just softness now, soft blanket, soft breath, soft dark, soft distance between one feeling and the next, and far away like smoke dissolving over a mountain at night, the last active parts of the mind begin to disappear into something gentler than thinking. No need to hurry them, no need to notice exactly when they go. Let them go the way evening goes, quietly, completely, without announcement. You are safe here, safe in this bed, safe in this night, safe in this pause from effort, safe in this holy, ordinary darkness. Nothing is chasing you here. Nothing is demanding from you here. Nothing is asking you to become more before you are allowed to rest. You are allowed now, allowed to stop, allowed to sink, allowed to be carried. And if one small thought still flickers, let it flicker like the last lantern in a distant room. No need to walk toward it. No need to blow it out. It will dim on its own. Everything dims on its own now. The grove grows quieter. The moonlight softens. The mountain fades into outline. The outline fades into shadow. The shadow fades into depth. And you too fade gently from the edges. Not gone. Just resting beyond effort. Resting beyond language. Resting beyond the small, bright surface of the day. There may still be a feeling in the chest, warm and quiet. Let it stay. There may still be a softness in the belly, a sense that all is well enough for now. Let it stay. There may still be one final inward truth, barely a whisper. I am safe. Let that be the last clear thing. I am safe. Then softer still. Safe enough to sleep. Safe enough to drift. Safe enough to let the night finish the prayer for you. And now the words themselves can begin to lose their edges. Less to follow, less to remember, less to do. Only rest, only warmth, only the hush of everything settling where it belongs. Your body heavy, your mind unfastening, your breath slow, your heart quiet. The story far away now, the light still here, the night deepening, the grove at rest, you at rest. And if you drift before the next phrase arrives, that is good. If the sentence blurs, that is good. If sleep comes before the thought is done, that too is good. Because you do not need the ending. You only need the softness. You only need the peace. You only need this slow, kind descent into the dark, where all things gentle are allowed to disappear and be remade by rest. So deeper now, softer now, quieter now, further from effort, closer to sleep, closer to the warm and silent center where nothing is missing for this moment and nothing needs to be done until morning. And now, in this last soft moment before silence, let everything remain gentle. Nothing needs to wake back up. Nothing needs to become bright again. Only this quiet closing. Only this final blessing of rest. If this journey has brought you peace tonight, you may subscribe so we can meet here again tomorrow night. And you may share this calm with someone who needs rest, someone who needs gentleness, someone who needs a softer way back to themselves. And then let even that invitation drift away. No action needed now. No effort needed now. Only the knowing that the door will remain here softly open whenever you wish to return. For now, sleep. Sleep with peace around you. Sleep with quiet within you. Sleep with the feeling that nothing is being forced and nothing is missing from this moment. The last lantern dims. The moon slips behind a cloud. The silk curtain is still. The grove is completely at rest, and you can rest too. Deeper now, softer now, safer now, held by the night, held by the dark, held by the silence between breaths. Let the body sleep. Let the mind sleep. Let the heart be carried into that tender place where all things become quiet again. And if one final whisper remains, let it be this. You are safe. You are held. You may sleep. And now even these words can fade into stillness, into softness, into silence.